All right, calling Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. First and foremost, we're going to give our praises to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash, the great Ali Shaddai of Israel, the great I am, the possessor of heaven and earth, of the spirits of heaven and earth. And we're going to give all praises and respect to Yahweh Shai, the Adonai, the Hamashiach, the light of this world, his only begotten Son, the one who rose to sit by his father's right arm, and my Redeemer, my Comforter, my salvation, and the only one that plead his blood over Israel, the only nation granted for salvation. And coming and giving respect to Great Millstone, GMS, the man that revealed this awesome wisdom and knowledge and truth to me for the stability of times and to prepare me for the great tribulation ahead. Giving respect and honor and respect to the Aqua, the men that's laboring in truth, risking their freedom and a life to do so. You on and off the highways and the byways, and you doing videos and listening to the prophets and listening to the church, even though you may not be from Great Millstone. Shalom. And shalom to the women that is laboring in the truth, also learning in silence, not laboring, but learning in silence. And whether you got a man or not, you are listening, you're fearing the laws and statutes and commandments of Yahweh. You listen in silence and you obey your man. And if Yahweh Shem Shai is your man, like he's all of our men, then you will be listening and learning in silence and being a good woman. Shout out to you, Aqua, that's doing that. And coming back at you with another video through the power and spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, in the name of Yahweh Shai. And, you know, we're going to get into a lot of things that are going on. I got a couple of videos for you, a couple of updates from my teachers, and personal breakdowns from myself that I learned from my teachers, and the book right now. And the book, no, this is gonna be called the beginning of a nightmare. Okay, the beginning of a nightmare. You know why I call it that? It's because it's about to be great chaos that's about to break loose. You know, it's a lot of things that's coming, and it's a lot of things that are about to happen. And it's not only going to affect America, but it's going to affect this entire globe. And Yahweh Shem Shai said that it would be so. So, you know, these are the things that we're getting prepared. We're getting prepared for Jacob's trouble, and we're getting prepared for the mark of the beast, and we're getting prepared for the second coming. No, for World War III and for the second coming. Hallelujah to that. And I got a couple of videos to show you. And before we can get this verse, it says, thus says Yahweh, we in Amos chapter 2, verse 1, for 3 transgressions. Wait, where's Moab? No, where's Edom? Because them the ones that's really going to get the work. This is God's hit list right here. Oopsie, Amos, don't leave. Where did it go? We can start in Joel since I didn't find what I wanted. Wait. Yeah, we can start right here on Joel. This is the one that the Lord is really shooting out on. This is the beginning, and I'll show you some videos prior to that, because Esau, Edom, kingdom is coming down, and the plagues are hitting Egypt, this is spiritually Egypt and Sodom. It says, Joel, the word of Yahweh that came to Joel, the son of Puthel. Hear this, you elders, and give all ear, all you inhabitants of the land. Has anything like this happened in your days, or even in the days of your father? Tell your children about it. Let your children tell their children, and their children tell another generation. What the crawling locust, what the chewing locust left, Salakia, the swarming locust has eaten. What the swarming locust has left, the crawling locust has eaten. And what the crawling locust left, the consuming locust has eaten. Awake, you drunkards, and weep, and wail, all you drinkers of wine, because of the new wine, for it has been cut off from your mouth. For a nation has come up against my land, strong and without number. His teeth are the teeth of a lion, and he has the fangs of a fierce lion. He has laid waste my vine and ruined my fig tree. He has stripped it bare and thrown it away. Its branches are made white. Lament like a virgin girded with sackcloth, for the husband of her youth, the grain offering and the drink offering, have been cut off from the house of Yahweh. The priests mourn who minister to Yahweh. The field is wasted. The land mourns, for the grain is ruined. The new wine is dried up. The oil fails. Be ashamed, you farmers. Wail, you vine dressers, for the wheat and the barley, because the harvest of the field has perished. The vine has dried up, and the fig tree has withered. The pomegranate tree, the palm tree also, and the apple tree. All of the trees of the field are withered. Surely joy has withered away from the sons of men. Gird yourselves and lament, you priests. Wail, you who minister before the altar. Come, lie all night in sackcloth, you who minister to my God. For the grain offering and the drink offering are withheld from the house of your God. Consecrate a fast, call a sacred assembly, gather the elders and all the inhabitants of the land, into the house of Yahweh, your God, and cry out to Yahweh. Alas, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as destruction from the Almighty. Is not the food cut off from before your eyes? Joy and gladness from the house of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai our God. The seed shrivels under the clods. Storehouses are in shambles. Barns are broken down. For the grain has withered. How the animals groan. The herds of the cattle are restless, because they have no pasture. Even the flocks of sheep suffer punishment. O Yahweh, to you I cry out. Fire has devoured the open pastures, and a flame has burned all the trees of the field. The beasts of the field also cry out to you. For the water brooks are dried up, and fire has devoured the open pastures. Blow the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh is coming, for it is at hand, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, like the morning clouds spread over the mountains. A people come great and strong, the like of whom has never been, nor will there ever be any such after them, even for many successive generations. A fire devours before them, and a flame and behind them a flame burns. The land is like the garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Surely nothing shall escape them. Their appearance is like the appearance of horses, and like swift steeds, so they run. With a noise like chariots, over mountaintops they leap, like the noise of a flaming fire that devours the stubble, like a strong people set in battle array. Before them the people writhe in pain. All faces are drained of color. They run like mighty men. They climb the wall like men of war. Everyone marches in formation, and they do not break ranks. They do not push one another. Everyone marches in his own column. Though they lunge between the weapons, they are not cut down. They run to and fro in the city. They run on the wall. They climb into the houses. They enter at the windows like a thief. The earth quakes before them. The heavens tremble. The sun and the moon grow dark, and the stars diminish their brightness. Yahweh gives voice before his army, for his camp is very great. For strong is the one who executes his sword. For the day of Yahweh is very great and terrible. Who can endure it? And with that, all these things are coming to pass. Yahweh about to activate his first of his front line, which is which is a part of the main front line, which is the 144,000. They would be given spiritual power to destroy the wicked. And this is the beginning of a nightmare. This is the beginning of Esau's nightmare. And we're at the end of our nightmare. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow. So we all got to get spiritually prepared. At the end of the day, preparing for food and water is nice, but, you know, it's not really going to do much good. If Yahweh is going to kill you, he's going to kill you. And there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter how slick you are. It doesn't matter how smart you are. If the Lord places judgment on you, you're going to die. And you're not going to be able to eat none of that food that's going to be left to somebody else. And you are going to die in great and terrible pain, either being killed by bullets or torn apart by angry people. Esau is about to get his judgment. The 2/3 are caught into it, and us who are the elect, Lord willing, I'm one of them, and the rest of the 1/3, we are to be tested. Amen. And with that, I'm gonna bring out a video, because these white niggas know what time it is, and these white niggas is getting a mile ahead of the rest of the dumber white people and the rest of the 2/3 who are just too puffed up in pride to see what's going on, either too stubborn or too afraid. Brought to you by Goshen Prepping. You can go look at that white man, because that white man is getting ahead of y'all, which is so many other wicked Edomites are doing, thinking that they can outrun the Lord or they can hide from him. Not advertising him.
Preparedness is a lifelong goal. And there's a lot of beginners to the channel. Great. I'm glad you're here. And let me just put it this way. Everybody's learning. And anybody who thinks they're mastering everything for preparedness is probably being a little deceived. So don't get stressed about thinking you know everything now. This video is catered to this. Work your way through, and try to eventually make goals. Preparedness is a lifelong goal. And there's a lot of beginners to the channel. Great. I'm glad you're here. And let me just put it this way. Everybody's learning. And anybody who thinks they're mastering everything for preparedness is probably being a little deceived. So don't get stressed about thinking you know everything now. This video is catered to this. Work your way through, and try to eventually make goals.
And something like this might actually save your life.
Yep.
Now, this isn't your typical list we're talking about, guys. This is a list that you're going to work towards that is not disposable, is something that you can keep for a long time.
Yeah, we're talking about skills, knowledge, and abilities to go long after a collapse. And that's the whole point. We're not looking at short-term things like stockpiling canned food this time. So here we go. The top 15 goals you need to have down before a complete collapse. Build a library. Now, again, in case of a complete collapse, you're going to want to have books. That's all there is to it.
Lots and lots of books. There's nothing better to have than a book, and you're not going to be able to rely on the internet.
Right, absolutely. In fact, complete collapse, we're probably going to we'll not be on the internet anymore. We're not really showing you these books per se. These are 4 books. But we have dozens of books, dozens of them, that in fact, the very next video, which is coming out, we're going to be going through all our books. Because books are absolutely vital. I mean, like, the first one I hear is Maple on Tap. And it's talking about how to maple syrup your trees. Tap thinking. That's why I have a book. Tap your trees. And although we've been doing it for years now, the book always, you can glean more stuff from it. But, you know, she has like a big green self-reliant living book. This is the kind of stuff where, you know, even if you buy it now, store it away, and a complete collapse happens, time to dig out that book, because this is going to be your how-to guide for everything. But we're talking about books on, let's see, cooking, farming.
Yeah, animals, medicine,
gardening.
Yeah, lots of things like that.
How-tos, construction, medical. Did I say medical?
I don't know.
Oh, medical. So tons of stuff. But on top of that same note, besides simply just books on how to do things like this, you need to make your own books. Not simply books on how to maple, although those are good too, but every single thing you have saved that's important, papers like birth certificates, social security cards, all that type of stuff, you need to print out.
Yeah.
You need to actually have all that stuff put on paper and put away in a safe. Probably like one of those little concrete document storage safes would be best. Because again, if we're talking about an EMP, which, oh my gosh, that's an upcoming video in a nuclear series, absolutely can happen, and you will absolutely lose lose everything if that happens.
And photos, guys. I'm
Yeah,
love books.
keep all that
Photos.
segue.
Yeah.
All right, so number one, books. Now, for most of the items throughout this list of 15, I'm going to put links to Amazon, but I won't with the books. In fact, the next video again that comes out where we show the books, I'll put links to all these books on there. But we have lots and lots of books.
A place to go.
Now, it goes without being said, owning land should be your number one goal. I know this is number two, but your number one goal as far as like doing things for yourself besides books, obviously, because land, not only land, but having land with a shelter on it, a house on it, a cabin or something, is like night and day difference.
Yeah, and if you don't or can't afford one, or you think, find somebody who has one that will help you out in that area.
Yeah, like friends and
Yeah,
relatives.
exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I know like right now land prices are high. They're only going higher, by the way, so it's still a great investment. I know there's a lot of people who come in and disagree with that. That's fine. You can disagree if you like. But try to do something about getting some land.
Yeah, it's important.
And I know it's expensive to get land and such, but again, if you can't get it yourself, then friends or relatives. But I highly recommend you don't just intend on bugging out into the wilderness. Have you been to the wilderness before? And I'm not talking about in a camper or even a tent. And that's because that's a camping trip for 2 weeks and drinking beer and catching fish and having fun. But we're talking about if crap hits the fan, living there forever.
Yeah, having to watch what little clothes you have and find to eat mushrooms and berries. Yeah.
And always be on defense and trying to make sure nobody comes in your camp and such. That's not a recommendation. I mean, I still recommend, obviously, having a tent. Even if you have a cabin in the middle of the woods, still have a tent, either for bugging out or if you don't have a lot of heat in that cabin of yours, the tent inside the cabin can work great. Not to mention, like, pillows and blankets and all those things, and sleeping bags. I have to stress, if you have sleeping bags, make sure they're for your climate. Because up here, where we're in Michigan, cold weather sleeping bags that go down to like -20 because you'll die literally of the cold if you don't have that type of sleeping bag. I actually had some just regular generic sleeping bags when we lived in Florida and then camp outside and freeze with those. Well, when you live in Florida, you freeze when the temperature hits 70. But anyway, you definitely need the right tools to go to camp out, to be in a tent. But again, owning land is the absolute vital key. If you can possibly do that, or again, have friends or relatives that love to come into their place. Because again, I'm not going to say the more the merrier, but however, there is safety in numbers and actually teaming up with somebody as far as growing food and maybe you can start your own commune. But you can be hippies in the economic collapse.
And did you hear that? They telling you that it's going to be an economic collapse. They saying just in case, but they know the economic collapse is inevitable and that it will happen. So they are doomsday preppers that are prepping ahead of time. These two fat niggas think that they gonna survive the economic collapse. When little do they know, how about Shemal Shai is going to creep up on them like a lion and rip these people to pieces. You got these Edomites that are a mile ahead of everybody. They can see this shit coming from down the drain, and they are getting prepared well ahead of everybody else who's not rich and not able to get prepared. But little do they know that the Lord is going to have a bunch of hungry people and a bunch of hungry bums, whether it's their friends or strangers, and they're going to come and swoop in and take everything that they've got and be living in their little place and kill them off, because that's inevitably what's going to happen to a lot of these doomsday preppers. Some of them are going to get attacked and gunned down in their houses, and some of them not even going to make it to their doomsday preps, and some of them is going to leave their stuff behind for the elect, and they going to dwell in there and take it. Like they say, like Yahweh Shemal Shai say, even though they build houses, they shall not inhabit them, you know? So we can go to another presentation too, after I get another couple of verses in. And they telling you that this is about to happen, and it's all strategically planned for that NWO, for that New World Order, okay? None of this stuff is just not accidentally happened. Everything is planned. It says, now, thou, therefore, it says, Yahweh, to our people, you Negroes and you Indians and you Native Americans, I mean, native Indian, you Negroes, you Indians, and you Mexicans, Slovakia, you are the true children of Israel. It says, now therefore, says Yahweh, turn to me with all your heart, with fasting, with weeping, and with mourning. So rend your heart and not your garments. Return to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua your God, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger and of great kindness. And he relents from doing harm. Who knows if he will turn and relent and leave a blessing behind him, a grain offering and a drink offering for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua your God? Who knows if the Lord is going to leave and either destroy you in his coming or fly over you and leave behind power, which is the blessing that he's talking about. And it says, blow the trumpet in Zion, consecrate a fast, call a sacred assembly. That's the prophets. Gather together, gather the people, spread the word, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children and nursing babies. Let the bridegroom go out from his chamber and let the bride from her dressing room. So everybody that's prepared is getting prepared to meet Yahweh and to meet Yahweh, to meet his son Yahweh Shai. Let the priests who minister to Yahweh weep between the porch and the altar. Let them say, spare your people, O Yahweh, and do not give your heritage to a reproach, that the nations should rule over them. Why should they say among the peoples, where is their God? Exactly. And that's the Lord being very, very serious, you know. He's not going to let us be abandoned. He's going to glorify us for those of the prophets that's screaming to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua on our behalf. And we are praying for our own souls as well. It says, then Yahweh will be zealous for his land and pity his people. Yahweh will answer and say to his people, behold, I will send you grain and new wine and oil, which is the truth. We're going to get the truth. Why? This white man not going to get nothing at all. And he going to get pummeled during the great clash of the riots and the collapse. Because that's the first thing that these jakes is set upon is robbing and taking to feed their families. All right? And they wicked anyway. So it's no telling them what to do. They're going to come straight for these white people. And they're going to rob them and they're going to kill them. And you will be satisfied by them. I will no longer make you a reproach among the nations, but I will remove far from you the northern army, and will drive him away into a barren and desolate land, with his face toward the eastern sea and his back toward the western sea. His stench will come up and his foul odor will rise, because he has done monstrous things. That's the white man. He gonna drive him back into that bottomless pit. They're gonna go right back where the fuck they came from. Actually, they're going into slavery, which is even worse. And I got one more video as well, because this war is about to be big, man. It's about to be very serious.
Specifically with, we've been seeing supply chain problems and, of course, skyrocketing prices because of the war with Russia and Ukraine. Prices specifically with, like, wheat, corn, sunflower oil, cooking oils, they're all going up because of this. But you know what? We have a new shortage coming on that's actually going to cause so much problems. It's going to cause a worldwide food shortage very soon. If you didn't know, nitrogen is the main component needed for fertilizers. Nitrogen, potassium, and potash are the three main ones you have to have. Without them, the plants won't grow. And more specifically, fruit-bearing plants, plants that produce vegetables, have to have these, has to have nitrogen, or it simply won't produce the fruit at all. So, what's going on? Russia is by far the largest exporter of nitrogenous fertilizer components. Besides just nitrogen, they export 23% of ammonia exports, 14% of urea exports, 10% of processed phosphate exports, and 21% of potash. Now, the United States, which is good, is not one of the primary importers of nitrogen. We actually import 10.3% of what we need for nitrogen each year, making us in the top 3. In addition, Russia and Belarus make up 40% of the world potash supply. Potash supply, if you didn't know, is simply just like broken down or burnt up wood components that actually help feed the plants. The United States, we import 93% of our potash. Most of it comes from Canada, but in the United States, we actually import about 12% of our potash from Russia and Belarus. But because of sanctions, that has stopped. Before the invasion of Ukraine, U.S. farmers were already struggling with higher prices and supply chain States, fertilizer prices are 4 times what they were just 2 years ago. 4 times. That's crazy. And even though we're actually not dependent on these other countries as much, we're still hurting big time because of this. It's an all-time high with the records broken. And for you and me, we may not live in an area needed for imported fertilizer, but we live in a world market. And because of this, world market prices are going through the roof. To make matters worse, natural gas is one of the components needed to make nitrogenous fertilizer. Since the exports have dropped so significantly, European natural gas exports have also declined, leading to, skyrocketing prices on natural gas, which will of course affect propane too if you happen to be a propane user. Alright, I've mentioned this in other videos before, but the United States, we actually produce enough food every year to feed the entire planet. What is scary, and what they're telling us, is that that's basically not going to happen this year. Around the world it's not going to happen either, not just the United States, but we're actually spiraling down into a worldwide famine, which takes place this summer. Absolutely scary. In addition, we're seeing famines in the Middle East and Africa too, making the problem even worse. But here's how it'll affect you. Although right now many of your grocery store food items may be in stock, it won't be for long. By the end of summer, we're projected to see massive food shortages, not to mention prices skyrocketing. If you thought it was bad before, seeing some of the videos we put out before with the missing items, not to mention I'm sure you've seen some missing items from the grocery store as well, apparently we haven't seen anything yet. For me and my family, what we're going to do is throughout the spring and summer, we're going to try to devote any extra funds we possibly can to stock up. We love stocking up on canned food more than anything else. Lots and lots of canned food because of this. And of course, I would recommend you do the same thing. Not to mention this summer, we plan on doing a lot of gardening outside. Of course, we'll be doing our own canning, of course, with jars at that time too. That's all we can do to be ready when we do this. Because, it's not about living in fear, because this is a fearful thing. It's about preparing so you don't live in fear. Alright, so what are some of the things you're going to stock up on, and hopefully we'll get the ball rolling if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching. In the meantime, go ahead and check out this next video.
Them fat niggas ready for that shit, man. They telling you they gon' try to skip the disaster by preparing for all of this shit, and it's not gonna go that well. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, if Yahweh deems you to be killed, you will be killed, okay? There is no avoiding it. There is no stopping it. And most likely, like the Lord said, they would leave it for the elect and for his sheep, okay? Because they're only preparing it for somebody else, and there's going to be great chaos going down in the weeks to come. You know what I'm saying? And like I told you, it's so bad it can happen even faster than that. Who knows? But as far as we're concerned, like he said, the famine is going to start going down during the middle of the summer, towards the end of the summer. It could happen at the very beginning, because this is how bad the condition is. This is how fucking the hyperinflation is so powerful. It's about to blow the lid off this place. And it's taking all of you non-believers and you wicked white people with it, And this wicked demonic place is finally going down. Don't mind me, it's just my music. And this is why we don't have to worry, because Yahweh Hashem outside in his beautiful promises towards the children of Israel. We don't got to worry about food. We don't have to worry about danger. We don't have to worry about getting hurt. We don't have to worry about diseases. Yahweh Hashem outside is going to send his angels down to take care of us as long as we got faith in him. We don't even have to worry about battle. We'll be ready for all of these things when Yahweh put it in our spirit to be ready. It says, "Fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice, for Yahweh has done marvelous things." These are all the miracles of the Lord, and these are all the plagues, the famines, and the sword coming upon the land, just as he promised. Now everybody is looking stupid that believed in that white man Jesus crap, because the revelation in the story is not going according to what they know. It's not. That's not what happened. What's supposed to happen in the story is that the devil is supposed to fight the Lord and be cast down to the ground. And he was supposed to fight the woman in the sky. What was that all about? But yeah, you know, they got their own weird beliefs that they thought that was going to happen, and it's not going down that way. Apparently, instead of them turning up in these crappy churches and these wicked churches and getting into other things like money and self-pride and sodomy, you know what I'm saying? They are not paying attention, and they didn't give themselves a chance to read the Bible. It's a lot of people, would you believe it? It's a lot of people that don't even read the Bible, you know? And this is going to be their downfall, especially for, well, mainly for my people, the children of Israel, us, the sons of God, those, the wicked 2/3, those people that didn't come back to the Lord. It's going to pop like a jack-in-the-box right in their face. You know what I'm saying? Like when you thought the jack-in-the-box was broken, but then it finally pop out on you when you try to check to see what's wrong with it. That kind of shit. Because I've had a jack-in-the-box before when I was a child. So it says, do not be afraid, you beast of the field, for the open pastures are springing up, and the tree bears its fruit. The fig and the vine tree yield their strength. Be glad then, you children of Zion, and rejoice in your Father, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. It says, for he has given you the former rain faithfully, and he will cause the rain to rain down for you, the former rain and the latter rain in the first month. The threshing floor shall be full of wheat, and the vat shall overflow with new wine and oil. Amen to that. Because the Lord is he's saying that we'll be taken care of. We're gonna be fed, and we're not gonna be hungry. We're not gonna be crying in vexation. You know, we're gonna be taken care of. It says, so I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the crawling locust, the chewing locust, the consuming locust, and the consuming locust and the chewing locust, my great army which I sent among you. Because the white people is the locust that the Lord is talking about. And the white people plan on taking everything and storing it into their storehouses that they got prepared for the end of days. It says, my great army which I sent you. You shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, who hath dealt wondrously with you. My people shall never be put to shame. Then you shall know that I am Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in the midst of Israel. I am the Lord your God, and there is no other. My people shall never be put to shame. So the Lord, he angry because he says it 2 times. He's very pissed off. And Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right now as we speak, is meeting the promises that he promised us. And he's about to deal these critical blows to this white man. And we going to help destroy this white man too. And his children is going to have to pay for everything that he's done in the past. And the Lord said he's going to help us. He's going to do battle on our behalf. And we his battle axe. So the time is coming for the white man to put his dukes up and to fight Jacob. That's exactly what's happening. And we about to get this showdown under the way soon. It says, and it shall come to pass afterwards that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. And also on my manservant and on my maidservant I will pour out my spirit in those days. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the coming of the awesome day of Yahweh. And this is about to happen. These are all his promises. And it shall come to pass that whoever calls on the name of Yahweh shall be saved. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there shall be a deliverance. And he's talking about the remnant. It says, as Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai said, among the remnant who Yahweh calls. Meaning that it's going to be the chosen. So God is going to answer those who got the name. And their faith is what's going to get them saved and going to see salvation in these days that are coming. And I pray that I'm one of them that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai answers to when I'm in my darkest time. It says, for behold, in those days and at that time when I bring back the captives of Judah and Jerusalem, I will also gather all the nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's the valley of Armageddon, World War III. And I will enter into judgment with them there on account of my people, my heritage, whom they have scattered among the nations. They have also divided up my land. They have cast lots for my people and have given a boy as payment for a harlot, that's slavery, and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. Indeed, what have you to do with me? And that's the white people. The Lord is asking the white people, what do you got to do with the Lord? Nothing. They feel like because they people have been grafted in, and no, they not grafted in Salakia, because they feel like that because they thought that they knew the Bible and their parents had taught them the lie. They believed the lie, so they believe that God is all love. They believe that when Jesus comes, he's going to defeat this. He's going to defeat his own angel, his own ally, which is Satan. Supposedly, Satan, the angel on the left hand of God, is the enemy of God, and he's going to fly up there with the rest of his fallen angels and take over heaven. When that's not even in the fucking story. And Satan and this white man gonna jump down and come down here and then beam up. You're not even gonna see the chariots. You're just gonna see beams of light to beam them up into heaven, and everybody is gonna be left here in a lake of fire. They got them so fucked up in the head that they didn't believe in the nuclear day either. They just think that the Lord is gonna turn this place into a lake of fire. And before all of that, people gonna be getting their heads chopped off. And if you get your head chopped off, whether you white or you black or you Chinese, you can be saved. And that's not so. That's not how it's gonna go down. Everybody that's read this book and didn't have the right guidance because Yahweh have blinded them, they're never gonna understand the book. And some of them that do understand the book, because he said your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. Meaning that some of them had got a sneak peek of what was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? They got it because the Lord put it in their mind to think about it and gave them dreams. You know what I'm saying? There's a great number of us, including me, that have had dreams of the end of the world and the great riots and the great destruction, the chariots. You know what I'm saying? I had dreams of the false prophets being burned alive on the chariots. I had a dream that I was walking and I was a child holding Yahushai's hand, and we was having a conversation, and he was talking about how much he loved the children of Israel and he loved us, but also was very angry, you know. And I've had dreams of great catastrophes coming upon California, where everybody was being taken away by great floods from the water and great earthquakes was cracking off. And I had a dream also that God was killing children. He didn't care, man. Even if your child is not marked with salvation, your child is gonna get killed, and you gonna get killed too. It says, O Tyre and Sidon and all the coast of Philistia. It says, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon and all the coast of Philistia? Tyre is the white man. It says, will you retaliate against me? God is asking you white people that. What you gonna do to stop me? How are you gonna stop me? You think because killing my prophets and killing my people are gonna hurt me? You think because you trying to nuke the world and destroy everything in it is gonna hurt Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai in the name of Yahushai? You think that's gonna hurt me when some of my prophets are gonna die in my name? He said that's why I'm gonna give them spiritual power to beat you up, beat you down, and in the matches to come. That's why I'm gonna send my son and the rest of the angels, along with Michael, the great angel of chaos, to come give you that grand smackdown, and they gonna beat your ass. That's what's gonna happen. The white man about to get his ass handed to him by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, his son Yahushai, the beautiful angels, and the 144,000 which are the chosen, and Israel. Even the 2/3 gonna beat your ass. That's what's gonna happen. That's why God is, if any man that did get the knowledge that was white and their eyes was open when they read this Bible, they might as well go kill themselves afterwards, because God hate them, man. It says, will you retaliate against me? But if you retaliate against me, swiftly and speedily I will return your retaliation upon your own head. They think they new world order gonna work. They think this mark of the beast shit gonna work. They think by destroying the world and trying to rebuild it, that they're gonna beat God at God's own game. That's stupid when God is the one controlling you. They feel like God don't got no control and they don't believe in the Lord. They got their own gods. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that what they serve is demons. And the demons is on the left hand of God, being controlled and commanded by angels. So when the white man try to get answers and questions from these spirit gods, you know what I'm saying, which are the devils, you know what I'm saying, and those are the demons on the left hand of God's left hand, doing all the dirty work for him. They're not knowing that they're not gonna give him no spiritual power, no spiritual insight, nothing. They're gonna go back to the Lord that created them and tell him that we fooled them. They got tricked. These supposedly lords of darkness, they are powerless and they ain't without nothing, and we deceived them just as you asked. And the Lord is gonna be like, well done, because the spirits work for you. How about Shemi Awashai? This white man is retarded, man. He actually think he gonna survive a blow from the Lord. You're not gonna survive this blow. It says, because you have taken my silver and my gold, which are the Israelites, and have carried into your temples my prized possessions. That's the Israelites. Also the people of Judah and the people of Jerusalem you have sold to the Greeks. That's slavery. That was us. It says that you may remove them far from their borders. Behold, I will rise them out of the place to which you have sold them, and will return your retaliation upon your own head. He gonna let Jacob get off on your ass. I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the people of Judah, and they will sell them to the Sabians, to a people far off. For Yahweh has spoken. He gonna pretty much is a stylish way of saying that the Israelites gonna sell them to each other, and y'all gonna be, the white man is going into slavery. Proclaim this among the nations. Prepare for war. Wake up the mighty man. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. That's the other nations that's coming up against America, because they tired of America bitch ass too. It says, and assemble and come, all you nations. Gather together all around. Cause your mighty ones to go down there, O Yahweh. This is to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And Armageddon means an assembling of troops. And this is where they going to be assembled at. All the nations going to assemble in a certain area. And they going to get off on each other. God is going to have them slaughter each other. It says, let the nations be weakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. It says, for I will sit there to judge all surrounding nations. Put in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come down, for the winepress is full. The vats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Because all the white people did was go from different countries to countries, and Yahweh allowed them to take it over. Because once these countries were bronze people and dark-skinned people and speckled, speckled birds, different shades of brown like the earth, they were once those colors, but now they all white. So God say, I'm going to bring all these nations round about and kill them all in the valley of the slaughter. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of Yahweh is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon will grow dark and the stars will diminish. You have to say this a second time. That's how pissed he is. That's why God is bringing about the great wrath and the great destruction of America, man. And these plagues are not only in America. You getting weather disasters. You getting mysterious plagues that are popping up out of nowhere. Nigga, I heard a mysterious plague, and it was coming from the ticks. And they was having a tick epidemic in a certain part of the world. I forgot. But the ticks was carrying a deadly virus. And if the white people were going to explore these certain forests, and they was walking on the side of the road or on the sidewalks, they got ticks jumping on them, giving them deadly diseases. You heard about the typhus disease, the rat plague that's out there in Los Angeles, and the bum buildup that's causing the flea epidemic out there, man. You got the triple E virus, the mosquito plague. I do believe that was in Australia, certain part of the world. This is a pestilence, you know. What's another one? You got the bird flu. The bird flu is a part of the pestilence too. They killing all the birds and stuff because the birds are getting sick. And they getting rid of the last of the livestock. They not even selling it because it's nasty. And you can get people sick. It can transfer to humans too and be really detrimental. And you got many more viruses to come. Then you got the wars. That's people that's getting ready. The people that's not only fighting right now as we speak, but people that's getting ready to fight each other all over the world for food, for water. They'll take your gold. They're not going to care too much about the paper dollars because it's about to fucking collapse. I heard China has already started collapse. We already know Russia and Ukraine are going through great collapses. We know that. You know, it's a lot of things that's happening right now that's coming out of the Bible. And it's all to set Israel free. That was God's promise. So when America collapses, it's going to be a massive exodus out of the jobs. No more working. We ain't got to do nothing no more. All we got to do is prepare and to get ready for Jacob's trouble, which is about to crack off shortly after we leave these jobs and these people start riding. There's Jacob's trouble. It's about to start in the next couple of weeks. And not to get physically prepared, but to be spiritually prepared is the key. And it's up to you how about Shem Yahushai if he's going to cover you and allow you to survive it all. Like it said in the Bible, give me the feet of deer feet so I can escape the calamities to come. Because that's what you're going to need. You're going to need to be fast. You're going to need to be smart. You're going to need not to hesitate when it comes to destroying somebody. Because the Lord is going to send some people our way. And we're going to have to kill them because they're going to try to kill us. It's going to be like the wild, man. You know the animals, they kill other animals and ain't no police pulling up on them to tell the lion to stop killing the gazelle, you know? Or it ain't no police going on a highway speed chase, chasing a cheetah from chasing a rabbit or, you know, or the deer, the gazelle, and trying to get it down. Ain't no police around doing that shit in the wild kingdom. And it's going to be like this. It's going to be like this, oh, that's my my camera. It's gonna be like this in our time. You know what I'm saying? When the collapse comes, these people are gonna turn into beasts. There ain't gonna be no white man over there telling them to stop eating that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or to stop robbing this, or to stop shooting, or to stop fighting. These police gonna take off their uniforms and they gonna be just normal people, man. That's all they're gonna try to be. And guess what? Jacob is still gonna find them. Man, the prison house is gonna break and burst open. It's all kind of chaos that's about to come. And we keep telling everybody to get ready for this kind of demonic chaos. You're gonna need the protection, Yahweh Shem Al-Shai, to be your rock when this time is going down, man. For real. And it says, multitudes in the multitudes of the valley of decision, for the day of Yahweh is near, and in the valley of decision. It says the sun and the moon will grow dark, and the stars will diminish their brightness. Yahweh will roar from Zion, because these niggas gonna be mad, yo. They're not gonna be able to feed their kids. They're not gonna be able to take care of their bills. They just lost their brand new car. You got drug dealers that just lost all their money, can't sell the crack, can't sell the weed. Everything gonna bust down, and Jacob is gonna come after Esau and his children. And the flip side is coming. You know what I'm saying? Even though great wrath is gonna break down, because that's a part of the grand design for the 2/3 to be taken out. You know, why they over there killing the white people gonna be killing them and taking out the 2/3. And it says, and utter his voice from Jerusalem. Oh, it's going down. The heavens and the earth will shake, but Yahweh will be a shelter for his people, and the strength of the children of Israel. It says, so you shall know that I am Yahweh Shem Yahushai, your God. because I am means Yahweh, okay? It means I exist. It actually means I exist, but I am is another one to be applied to. It says, dwelling in Zion, my holy mountain. He's within his people, man. So you got the 144,000, that's the right hand, and the 1/3, that's the right hand that came back. And on the left hand, you got the 2/3, man. God gonna body you. You ain't, man, left, right, KO, man. That's exactly how it's gonna go. You got the battle axe, which is 144,000, and these 2/3 that's gonna come in waves, man. I doubt that all these fat, overgrown, restaurant, Golden Corral, Sonic eating ass white people is gonna survive the shit that's coming. These guys are all fat and weak, and they gonna get bodied by Jacob, because Jacob is not to be trifled with. They still a part of Israel, even though these the guys that's not gonna be saved and they gonna die. But how about Shimei Shai is gonna allow them to do battle before they do. And they gonna do battle with Esau. It's gonna be a great war. One people against another, one nation against another, one realm against another. It says, dwelling in Zion in my holy mountain. Then Jerusalem shall be holy, and no alien shall ever pass through her again. Ain't no white people gonna be sitting up there having sex and mingling with us and trying to have their kids grafted with us. There's even gonna be brothers that's white, and people thinking, and the brothers and the other wicked Jacobs that see him and he white and he not marked by Yahweh, they gonna kill him just for his skin color, not knowing that it was a Jake. And it will come to pass in that day that the mountains shall drip with new wine, the hills shall flow with milk, and all the brooks of Judah shall be flooded with water. A fountain shall flow from the house of Yahweh Shimei Shai, and water the valley of Arcasius. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom a desolate wilderness, because of the violence of the people. You see that? Because of the violence against the people of Judah. For they have shed innocent blood in their land, but Judah shall abide forever, and Jerusalem from generation to generation. For I will acquit them from the guilt, acquit them of the guilt of bloodshed, whom I have not acquitted. For Yahweh dwells in Zion. Exactly. He only chose one nation, you idiots. One nation. I think I found it. We can read this too, because this is a part of the hit list. God not playing. It says the words of Amos, and then we'll close out the words of Amos, who was among the sheep breeders of Tekoa, which he saw concerning Israel in the days of Uzziah, king of Judah, and in the days of Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, two years before the earthquake. And he said, Yahweh roars from Zion, and utters his voice from Jerusalem. The pastures of the shepherds mourn, and the top of Carmel withers. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Damascus, and for 4 I will not turn away its punishment, because they have threshed Gilead with implements of iron. But I will send a fire into the house of Hazael, which shall devour the places of Ben-Hadad. I will also break the gate bar of Damascus. These are the descendants of the Greeks, which are the white people, and cut off the inhabitants of the valley of Avon, and the one who holds the scepter from Beth Eden. The people of Syria shall go captive to Kir, says Yahweh. Thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4 I will not turn away its punishment, because they took captive the whole captivity to deliver them up to Edom. And Gaza is the Edomites today. And they got one of the cities called Gaza too. So that's the wicked Hamites. They sold us into the palms of Edom, which are the white people. So God knows who he's talking about. God has a very old and formal way of talking, a very spiritual way of talking. You know what I'm saying? But he know who he's talking to. So it says, which shall devour its palaces. I will cut off the inhabitants from Ashdod, and the one who holds the scepter from Ashkelon. They gonna fall. I will turn my hand against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, says Yahweh Bashim Shai. Thus says Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for 3 transgressions of Tyre, and for 4, I will not turn away its punishment, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and did not remember the covenant of brotherhood. I'm trying to tell you, this shit's serious. This them wicked Hamites. That's why them Hamites say the children of Israel are not our people. We supposedly call African Americans out here are not a part of the United Kingdom out there. We are not a part of Africa out there. We used to rule over them, and we was in slavery under them because they was the ancient Egyptians. We are the children of Israel, and they'll tell you it's a difference between a nigga and an African. There's a difference. We ain't like them, and when we go out there, they don't treat us very kindly. They treat us with racism, just like the white people. It says, but I will send a fire upon the wall of Tyre, which shall devour its palaces. Thus says Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and the name Yahushai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away its punishment, because he pursued his brother with the sword, and cast off all pity. His anger tore perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. But I will send a fire upon Teman, which shall devour the palaces of Bozrah. Meaning that that's America. God is about to destroy America. That's the Esau, Edom, and the hit list, because Amos is the hit list of the Lord, who he gonna knock off. It says, thus says Yahweh, for 3 and all these nations have something to do with our captivity. They all had something to do with killing us, raping us, robbing us, murdering us, destroying us, devouring us. They all had something to do with it. It says, for 3 transgressions of the people of Ammon, and that's Japan. And for 4, I will not turn away its punishment, because they ripped open the women with child in Gilead, that they might enlarge their territory. But I will kindle a fire in the wall of Rabbah, and it shall devour its palaces. Yep. It was over there eating our people. Amidst shouting in the day of battle, and a tempest in the day of the whirlwind, their king shall go into captivity, he and his princes together, says Yahweh, because their king is the white man, and they're the children. So he said, they y'all going into slavery, man. It says, thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Moab, which is China, and for 4, I will not turn away its punishment, because he burned the bones of the king of Edom to lime. But I will send a fire upon Moab, and its palaces shall devour Kiriath. Moab shall die with tumult, with shouting and a trumpet sound, and I will cut off. And I will cut off. There you go, I fixed it. And I will cut off the judge from its midst, and slay all its princes with him, says Yahweh. And you know, they could be talking. They talking about the children of Israel when it talks about the Edom, king of Edom, because before, like I said, it was nothing but in these lands, it was nothing but the children of Israel, until Yahweh allowed these white men to overthrow them, and that was punishment for us. I'm trying to fix the light. It's tripping. But we can keep going. It says, thus says Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Judah, and for 4, I will not turn away its punishment, because they have despised the law of Yahweh, and have not kept his commandments. Their lies lead them astray, lies which their fathers follow. But I will send a fire upon them, and it shall devour the places of Jerusalem. That's the wicked 2/3. Thus says Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, for 3 transgression of Israel, and for 4, I will not turn away its punishment, because they sell the righteous for silver, and the poor for a pair of sandals. They pant after the dust of the earth, which is on the head of the poor, and pervert the way of the humble, meaning that they stole Israel. That's them white people, who say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. A man and his father go in to the same girl to defile my holy name. They lie down by every altar on clothes taken in pledge, and drink the wine of the condemned in the house of their God. Exactly. You stole all that, and you worship him in the house of your God, which is that fake white man Jesus. It's white supremacy. Yet it was I who destroyed the Amorite before them, whose height was like the height of the cedars, and he was as strong as the oaks. Yet I destroyed his fruit above and his roots beneath. Also, I who brought you up from the land of Egypt and led you 40 years through the wilderness, because Yahweh is mad that his people will not come back. The majority of us won't come back. It's only so few of us that came back to the Lord. It says, to possess the land of the Amorite, I raised up some of your sons as prophets, which is true. It says, and some of your young men as Nazarites. And Nazarites is the ones that could wear dreads by the law, but over time they cut them off. It says, is it not so, O you children of Israel, says Yahweh? But you gave the Namorites wine to drink and commanded the prophets, saying, do not prophesy. Meaning that they taught us strange ways. They taught us about, the plantation doctrine, Christianity, and they taught us to stay away and abandon our God through generation to generation. Up until a couple years ago, when Alba Bibbins came on the scene and he started teaching, along with the other high prophets, like High Prophet Ariah, and it's another prophet, I forgot his name. I do think, let me see, because you can always go to your notes, if I do remember, and after this, I'm going to get ready to close out, you feel me? Let me see, because you already got to have notes. I really listen to my brothers, man. And they have not lied to me at all. They stay telling the truth, man. If not, then it's probably in another notebook, but I'm just looking at this one because I've been using this notebook lately. I haven't found them. Maybe next time. But them the ones, and other high priests that the Albert Bimmers had brought up later on down the line, like Apostle Gabar, Apostle Tahar, GMS Maccabean Spirit, King Yahweh Maccabees, GMS Narrator Teacher C7, or Narrator C7, GMS Yorkshire, GMS Chicago, GMS Birmingham. Those are other prophets that the Lord had brought up. And the people, the wicked 2/3, said that I don't want to hear it. Don't allow them to prophesy. Behold, I am weighed down by you, as a cart of sheaves is weighed down. Therefore, flight shall perish from the swift. As fast as you are, you're not going to get away. The strong shall not strengthen his power. As buff as you are, you're not going to be able to stop this terror that's coming. Nor shall the mighty deliver himself. Nope. You could do 1,000 push-ups and you could be the strongest man. Like Olivia Biscuit strong. You know what I'm saying? I forgot. It was another strong power man too. But I forgot his name. But you can do 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups, and be as buff as you are, and you still not going to be strong enough to get away from the Lord. If God wants you, he wants you. So I'm about to get ready to close out. He shall not stand who handles the bow. The swift shall fall, and the swift of foot shall fall. No, the swift of foot, Salakia, shall not escape, nor shall he who rides a horse deliver himself. Your car's not going to matter. No matter how fast you are, not going to matter. Your guns are not going to matter. The most courageous of men of might, shall flee naked in that day, says Yahweh Shem Shai. You're not going to know nothing. You're not even going to know why you're running. You're not even going to know why it came to all this. It says, hear this, that Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family, which I brought up from the land of Israel. That's because they don't want to listen. So God said, I'm going to bring the white man against you one last time, and he going to destroy your ass. And that's the truth. Yeah, they're going to do battle, and in the end, they're going to win. But the majority of these 2/3, they're going to get their ass whooped too, man. They're not ready for what's coming. You only have I known, of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Can two walk together unless they are agreed? Will a lion roar in the forest when he has no prey? While will a young lion cry out of his den if he has caught nothing? This is called talking about starvation. Will a bird fall into a snare on the earth where there is no trap for it? Will a snare spring up from the earth if it has caught nothing at all? If a trumpet is blown in the city, will not the people be afraid? If there is calamity in the city, will not Yahweh have done it? Surely Yahweh Bashim Shai does nothing unless he reveals his secrets to his servants the prophets. A lion has roared. Who will not fear? Yahweh Bashim Shai has spoken. Who can but prophesy? We're not going to stop because Yahweh Bashim Shai told us not to stop, to keep going, do the best that we can. Proclaim in the palaces of Ashdod and in the palaces in the land of Egypt, and say, assemble on the mountains of Samaria, see great tumults in her midst, and the oppressed within her, for they do not know to do right, says Yahweh, who store up violence and robbery in their palaces. That's right. Therefore says Yahweh Shemel Shai, an adversary shall be all around the land. He shall sap your strength from you, and your palaces shall be plundered. That's that white man. Thus says Yahweh Shemel Shai, as a shepherd takes from the mouth of a lion 2 legs or a piece of an ear, so shall the children of Israel be taken out who dwell in Samaria, in the corner of a bed, and on the edge of the couch. Hear and testify against the house of Jacob. Say to Yahweh Shemel Shai, God of hosts, that in the day that I punish Israel for their transgressions, I will also visit destruction on the altars of Bethel. He's going to go get them wicked prophets, the ones that didn't preach the right word. And the horns of the altar shall be cut off and fall to the ground. And he's also talking about them fake white people. No, the white people who worship the white, the white God Jesus and white supremacy, and who try to steal the Bible from us and fall to the ground. I will destroy the winter house along with the summer house. The houses of ivory shall perish, and the great houses shall have an end, says Yahweh. Exactly. And it also goes down to more, but I'm going to stop right there. Lord willing, you know what I'm saying? It'd be the next video, calling Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakadash, on to the next video. And I'm bringing another one out tomorrow. This one was actually pretty good, very informative. I hope it reached the ears of my people. You know what I'm saying? Come out of that wickedness while there's still time left, and trust and believe there's only still so little time left. You only got a little bit of pints of grain before the Bible just lock on you. That's exactly what it's doing. It's doing this. It's doing that. It's doing that. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what the Bible is doing. It's opening and it's reading itself. You know what I'm saying? It's reading itself until one day it's going to get to the end and it's going to go all the way back and 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 all the way back. Look what it's doing. All the way back, all the way back. And then boom, it's going, and God going to put that lock on it. And it's going to be locked forever. Call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakadash in the name of Yahushai. You better get the word before the famine comes, because when the famine comes, the famine of the word is going to come. And people is not going to know where, why, or how it happened, and they're going to seek answers and not find them. While we enter in the end of Jacob, we at the end of our dream, which is Jacob. We at the end of our nightmare. The nightmare is beginning for Esau and the white, aka the white people and his children. Call on Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakadash. Our salvation is near. In the name of Yahushai, Baba Baba Bo, destruction to Babylon. And see you guys on the next video, Lord willing. Shalom.